You know, people sometimes ask why I drink Diet Coke from a champagne flute. It's partly aesthetic, partly ironic, but mostly symbolic. Because this little ritual reminds me that appearances and substance aren't always the same thing. And that really is what today is all about. The conduct rules. These rules aren't glamorous, but they've changed the culture of financial services. They sit right at the heart of the Senior Managers and Certification Regime, the SM&CR, which was introduced after a period when our industry had, let's say, a bit of an honesty problem. So a little history while I top up the bubbles. Back in the mid-2000s, the financial world was riding high. Complex products, exotic risk, profits everywhere. Then 2008 happened, the global financial crisis. Banks failed, markets froze, and when regulators and parliament started asking who's responsible, the answer repeatedly was no one in particular. Everyone blamed the system or the model or the market. Very few individuals accepted personal accountability. A few years later came the LIBOR and rate fixing scandals, traders manipulating benchmarks that affected mortgages, loans and pensions around the world. Again the refrain, it wasn't me. By 2013, Parliament had had enough. They created the Parliamentary Commission on Banking Standards, and its report was blunt. If nobody's accountable, nothing changes. The Commission recommended a new framework where responsibility could be traced to real people with real consequences. That's how SM&CR was born, a regime built on three pillars: senior management functions, certification and conduct rules. The conduct rules are the part that applies to almost everyone, the common standard of behaviour across the whole firm. They're the moral wiring behind the system. They tell us you're not just part of a company, you're personally answerable for your own integrity, competence and fairness. Now, before we get into the film clips and the fun examples, let's ground ourselves in the practicalities, because the FCA's view of accountability isn't theoretical. Here's how disciplinary reporting works.